Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a minute since I made my last video. I've just been really busy with my MMO project, but I'm getting to the point where I kind of know what I'm doing enough, and like I'm pretty confident in the general direction everything's going, to where I'm gonna start posting like actual videos and tutorials again on things that I'm just figuring out or doing on my process to getting this whole thing done. It's a monster, but I'm chipping away at it. All right, well, this tutorial is actually video is just mostly going to be about my particular workflow that I've developed, making 3D assets and then putting them into Unity. So basically, yeah, I'm just going to go through the steps I go in order to separate these files into something to where they can be worked on later. And then they also have different versions because obviously things need to be packaged a certain way for them to be game ready assets in Unity. So this collection has not been organized except for the Boolean, some of the Boolean cutouts, but we're gonna add a little bit more to this, and then I'm going to go ahead and export it. So right now we're on the normal T1, just type 1 version of the small bunker light. Okay. Now what we're gonna do is we're going to make a new version. Okay. And this version is going to be called U1, okay? Now, U1 just means, like, this is my updated hierarchy. So the way that I'm going to end up organizing everything and then later cutting it down further. The reason I do this is, let's pretend I get kind of far along and I notice that something's not working right in Unity, like something with the VMAPs is still funky, or I'm like, shit, you know, I should have added this or did this change. That's the very basic build, right? So I can go back and change things on a very basic level and then just rebuild up to this point. And so that way I keep like a progress tree of any individual Blender assets. So if I get to a certain point, I don't end up losing all the work I did before. It's just because you got to do certain changes. All right, so the first change I'm going to do is I'm going to be adding a new collection, and I kind of want to put this on top. And this one is going to be called Old Build, or Original Build. And then what we're going to do first is, in this collection, we're going to say this is the finished build, and we're going to add in another new collection on both of these, and these are going to be called original base parts, or you know what, let's call them bottom parts. Bottom parts. F bottom parts. And then we're gonna make another, and then so what we're gonna do is we're gonna find everything from this little screw on top down, but first we're gonna add in a couple more things. So I'm going to add a mesh, and then this is just going to be a really simple cylinder. And then we're going to shrink him down. And then we're going to grab on the Y. And then this one we actually want it to be exactly center, so we're not going to fuck with it after that. I know there's better ways to do this whole origin thing, but I just like to personally do this way because it's just a little bit easier. So then we're gonna scale. Something happened with my thing, and I personally don't know a whole lot about Blender yet, so don't ask me how I change or why my thing's doing that, because I honestly don't know why. So just bear with me. All right, so grabbing the Y one more time, and then it's still centered, which is what we want. And then we're gonna grab on the Z. That's about the size I want, and we're just gonna give it a little bit of this thing right here, and then we're gonna take this object, which is our cylinder 7, and we're going to control Shift D, which is duplicate, and then we're going to hit Y, so we can only move it on the Y axis. We're going to drag this, grab on the Y. I'm going to zoom in a little bit, so I definitely don't want to. Actually, that's basically perfect, so I guess that's good. Oh, that's crazy. I was not expecting to do such a spot-on job the very first try. Yeah, those are almost identical. All right, we're gonna keep these at that color for right now, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna add one more object, add mesh, and we're gonna add in a bolt. This is an add-on. It's a free add-on. I think it's called Bolts, and it's by Unity. It's a free add-on, and I just you know, whatever. Okay, about here. Grab on the Y. Grab on the Z. Grab on the Z. Grab on the Y. Yeah, those are about the right size. Okay, and then we're going to Shift D, grab on the Y, and then we're going to try to line that up best we can. And it looks like it's I think we're going to want to grab on the Z and just have it to where it's not quite intersecting like that. And then we're going to want to grab our bolt 2. And then grab on the Z. Yeah, there we go. And then let's zoom out a lot. Yeah, that looks about right. So I always try to find the functional purpose behind everything that when I'm making it. I know not all graphic artists or 3D designers do this, but I have it to where everything has a design purpose. So obviously these are the frame bolts that have this stick into the wall or wherever you're having it, and then underneath will be the main wire feed, but that can be invisible because it doesn't really matter. And so it's plugged in from the actual bottom. And when you take these bolts off, not only does it allow this to come off the thing, but I would imagine, imaginary screws here, here, and here. That would help separate and get to the interior part. And in this part right here are the bolts that keep the cage on, which give access to you to unscrew the main bulb dome and then get to the actual light that's underneath. So everything has a functional purpose. And then since this is a bunker night, it just has the bunker light. It just has that reinforced cage thing that they seem to have. All right, so then now we're at the bottom parts. And this is obviously not a part of the bottom parts. Here we no. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes I do go over the extra little bit of naming all these, but not all the time. Okay, and then we hold down shift, and we put that in. And those should all go in, except they didn't. Fuck. Maybe I'll just not shift. Maybe that'll work. Okay, that worked too. Alright, and then we're going to make another collection, and then this is going to be top parts. The reason I'm doing this, is F top parts. And then we're just going to highlight the rest, because the rest should basically be the top parts. Oh my god, I messed up. Bolt 1 and bolt 2 going to bottom parts. Okay. Yeah, okay. And then, you know, always hit Control, because that allows you to select things one at a time. Alright, and then those should be all the top parts, I think. Ooh, there's another one. Okay. And then we're going to take those and then drag those into finished top parts. And then we're going to hit, just to be safe, we're going to hit save. You know, can never be too careful with my computer. And then we're going to hide the camera for right now, because we don't actually need it. We could technically just delete the camera, but I'm not going to do that yet. And then we're going to take the parts, okay, and finished. And we're going to Control Shift. And we're going to copy all of it. And then we're going to paste into here. Oh, well, okay. Okay, that should work. Okay, but I gotta... yeah, copy. And then paste. There we go, okay. So then if I do this, nothing should be hidden. And if I do this... and then also, actually, the another thing you can do is just look at here. But there's 2 extra parts, which is really weird. Oh, it's got the cutouts. That's weird. So these cutouts do not need to be in here. Oh, technically they do, because these are the things that are adding, okay, so I'm just going to say, cutout 1, cutout 2. Just for non-destructive, you know, modeling, we keep that. So then we got F top parts, and then we're going to do a new collection, and then of course we're going to make this one, O, top parts, and then we're going to go into top parts, and then we're just going to copy and paste. Alright, and then we're just going to hide this whole collection. No, we're going to have it right now. And then we're going to save one more time. And now we're going to start building the finished result, and then hopefully it all looks good. And then if it does look good, then we're going to finalize everything. Alright, so first thing I like to do is I like to turn this into like an object that's almost like a real, like I would imagine like a real usable object. So one of the first things I do is I take, like for example, this part, right? These should all be one unit, because like you would take the cap off. And so I'm going to finish it in that type of fashion. So I'm going to make these all one part. So I'm going to copy, I'm going to rename this one. I'm going to say light cage, bottom, whatever. And then we're going to take a light cage bottom, and we're going to copy it. We're going to paste. We're going to make another copy. Now, the reason we're doing this, because this is now going to become a cutout. And we don't want this cutout to be cut. And we're going to edit, make sure that we're all. This is weird. Why isn't this? Wait, I don't understand what the fuck is going on. Why isn't that highlighting? Alright, we're just gonna delete it. copy in object mode, and then paste again. Okay, that worked. And we're gonna put this back. Oh, okay, because I had the cutouts hidden. That's my bad. So it was working. I just was being an idiot. Okay, 0, and then we're gonna take this and we're gonna slightly drop it down, just a tiny bit. Okay. Okay, there we go. Now we're gonna start selecting these cages. Okay, let's zoom out so we know which ones we're selecting. And we're going to add in another a Boolean modifier. And it's going to be difference. And we're going to select this. We're going to find this one, add a Boolean modifier. And then we're going to select, for fuck's sake, select that. Okay. Okay, and then we're going to add a Boolean modifier. Make sure it's on difference. Put it on the page above 1, and then we're gonna add in another modifier. Let's just hide that because that's kind of blocking. And then we got this. We're going to go on this object, and we're going to just make sure that it's on wire. And then we're going to hide the original one to make sure that these are separating in the right spot. Looks like it all the way around. And now we're going to apply. But first, we're also going to go to these, and we're going to make sure that we have another Boolean modifier, and then this one is going to be the big white cube, which that one we can just select off that, and then I do usually make it habit to put this Boolean, like if there's an object that you want to be cutting it for shape and form, you definitely want to make sure that that modifier for the Boolean is actually below whatever bevel or shape you're doing, because believe it or not, the modifiers always work off of hierarchy, and then sometimes when like a Boolean is working with like an object that would just basically look like a 7 or something that's just angled like this, it can make the results really weird. Boolean modifier does way better with like solid thick objects when it comes to corners and curves, so it's definitely something you want to keep in mind. And then right now it looks like we have all the modifiers. If I want to make absolute double check, I hide it, and yeah, there we go, perfect little cage in there. And then if we want to add a little bit of extra form, one thing we can do, this doesn't always work, it depends on it, so we're going to look first. We're going to go to geometry, and we're going to go inner to arc and see what happens, and it looks hideous, so that's not going to work. Now, I mean, if you wanted to do like an old thing and you wanted to fix the UVs, you could make it to where that would be an actual effect, but I'm good, I don't want that effect, so we're just going to keep it with this basic stuff. So first, we're going to apply all these filters, because this is supposed to be the finished product, and we don't want to lollygag too much. So we're hitting OK on this bevel. Oh wait, make sure we're selecting the right object, yeah. Apply, apply. Then we go down the list, apply, apply, apply. Down the list, apply, apply, apply. Down the list, this should be the last one. Make sure there's no issues. Yep. Apply, apply, and then make sure you always do it in order, because if you don't, it will mess it up. And then, so okay, we got these cages separated. So now we're going to take the other part of we're going to hide the base. This is why we wanted to separate it before doing this, which is really important. And then we're going to go to wireframe. And now we're going to go to this. And then we're going to go into edit mode. And then and it's weird that that one still, that those still show up. Oh, that's why. Cutouts need to be invisible. And then what we're going to do is, since we're in edit mode, it can only highlight the thing that we selected. So we're going to go like this. And then we're going to have shift on. And we're just going to make sure we get everything. Oh yeah, make sure that you're on vertices or whatever, because if you're on faces, sometimes faces will not actually get selected, and it'll be a big pain in the ass. Looks like everything is basically okay, and then we go like this. Delete edges. Should be a perfect result. Let's go back into. Yeah, it looks like it. Everything went well. Okay, and then we go back into object mode. Go to the next one. Go back to edit mode. I know there's hotkeys for this, but I'm not quite confident enough in doing all that stuff yet, so I just stick with the basic tools. I'm broke. I've been making a game for, you know, how many months. I've had zero financial support. I can't afford to buy any fucking add-ons for this shit, so whatever. You know, okay. Delete edges. Okay, there we go. Object. Edit. Oh shit. Wait, what the fuck? Edit mode. Okay. And then always make sure you're holding down shift, because sometimes things get a little wonky if you don't. I mean, you have to do that. I'm sorry. Blah. Okay, and then edit. Edit. Yeah, see, as you can see, somehow I managed to miss a couple things, so it's just good to just do a couple, oops, control. Ah, damn it. Okay, that looks good. Okay, and then let's unhide everything. Object mode, unhide. And then we're gonna go into so I can see the colors and shit. We're gonna unhide this, and then we're gonna unhide the bottom. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this part, and I'm going to copy, and we're gonna paste it. This is just for safety, just in case I screw something up. So we're just gonna call this bulb backup. Just gonna call it bulb backup, and then we're gonna take this one and we're gonna name it bulb. And then we want to apply these modifiers. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna scale it. We're just gonna oops, I forgot to hide the other one. Stupid bulb. All right, and we're gonna scale it ever so slightly. I think about right there is okay. And then we're going to scale on the Y. Oh, you know, actually, it's always better to do this. So we're going to scale on the Y, right? And then we're going to go 0.95. And then we're going to go scale on X, and we're going to go 0.9. 5, so everything matches. And then there we go. We have a very, slight separation between all these. And it looks pretty reasonable. I mean, you could say that the top is a little bit, so we're going to grab it on the Z. And we're going to so slightly, there we go, now it matches. It's all uniform. So, I mean, it's a very minor detail, but when you're looking at it from certain angles and certain shadows catch, possibly it could become a lot more obvious. So now we're going to get that light cage bottom back on. Everything looks good. And now what we're going to do is we're going to use the cage bottom. We're going to apply this bevel over here. And now we're going to add 4 Boolean modifiers. Boolean. And all these are going to be selected to union. Now, if there's a way to do multiple objects, I don't know. I'm just showing my workflow. I don't know everything about Blender right now. Cube 1. This one. 5. And then 6. And then just to make sure that it's all working, we hide these and they still show up, so that means it worked. So now we're just going to apply, and I don't know if, yeah, one of them did not apply, great. And then to find out which one didn't apply, we just do that. Actually, very easy, right? That's why you hide them, because it makes you know which one you messed up on. So Boolean Union, that cube, and what the fuck is on this one? Oh. Okay, go back here. Oh, I'm in edit mode, that's why. Okay. Add modifier, Boolean Union, this cube. Apply. Hide it to make sure. Yes, it's all unionized. And then now that these have been unioned, we just delete. No reason to have those anymore. And then we're just going to call this light bulb cage. Now, while we're in here, we're going to go into edit mode. Select all, and then we're going to go into UV, and then we're just going to smart UV project, and I put a little bit of island margin over here just because it will make sure that nothing overlaps. And then I just leave everything else alone as long as it goes well. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do a vertical split by right clicking down there, and then we're going to go into right here, and we're going to go to UV editor. And we're just going to make sure that everything has a little bit of space. Honestly, this is not a very good one, but it doesn't really matter because right now we're just exporting the basic thing into Unity to make sure all the normals are right, because the normals don't translate correctly necessarily on Blender. So what you got to do is you got to make a prefab instance, which is like your finished product, and you got to go back and forth a couple times to make sure all the normals are right. And then once you make sure the normals are right, that's when you go really mess around with the UV mapping. And I'm not even in that particular like part of the design on everything yet. Okay, so that looks okay though. It's good enough. Now what we want to do is we want to apply these booleans if they're not applied yet. And it looks like we don't need this. What is that? No, we don't need that. Delete. We're just gonna ignore that. Well, it's already hidden, doesn't really matter, right? Then we're going to go to the bottom parts. We're going to, oh yeah, right here, apply. Those are the 2 Boolean modifiers. Okay. Everything else looks like it's applied. So this is basically finished. I mean, we could converge some of this if we really wanted to, but this is, first we got to make sure the normals are correct. And then once the normals are correct, we can make this more high poly. We can do a couple more other things to it, but we just want to really make sure that the major components of this are all like going to import into Unity correctly. So now we're going to save as yeah, it's okay to save like this. And then we're going to save as a new folder. Okay. And then this is going to be called Ep.1 version 1. And then the reason this is the published or produced version 1. But it's a published one because I might make more different iterations, right? Different colors, different normals, different node materials, blah, blah, blah. And so I want to all have different iterations of the published version that I can experiment with later in the game development if I need to. All right, so now we don't need any of these. So now, oh wait, let's make sure that, yeah, we saved that as the right file. So we're gonna save. I always check the file name up top. Now we're going to delete the old collection. We're gonna delete delete hierarchy, and then we're going to delete we don't need anything but the finished parts, which I think it's okay because we can actually export these as is. So then we're gonna save. Okay. And now this will basically look like this in Unity, including the black areas. But like I said, this is just for reference because right now I'm building up node scenes. And so it's just important that this is working the way it's supposed to. So now we're going to go into Unity really quick. Get that off my thing. I don't want any. All right. Documents. Project. My computer gets a little slow while I'm doing well, this. So I just got to give it a second. All right. We're still in the player base assets. I haven't organized this very well, but it's just for, you know, the real basic stuff. So we're going to go into bunker small light, type 1, U1, P1, B1. There we go. Oh, let's import. Yeah, I need to. I'm making it to where my MMO bases are customizable. So right now, the player doesn't have any customizability. You basically can log in and train skills. That's about it. And I actually still have a couple bugs with my skills, but no one's really trained enough to where I need to work on it because it's like really, really late on. Basically, it's just some issues where I gotta parse the ad seconds, but this is only needed if it goes past days. So if there's a skill that takes like a month to train, it doesn't parse the month correctly, and so it just repeats the month. So if you started training today, you might be able to get a 1 month skill for a day, but I highly doubt anyone's going to be playing the game yet, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, and then where's the new one? Oh, here we go. Okay, we're going to go into scene view. It gets really slow when I'm running this kind of software, so. We're gonna hide the master hierarchy for login screen. And then we're going to turn on the player base hierarchy, which I guess takes a while to load at this point. And now we're going to drag this. I just drag it into the main hierarchy where I have like the assets loaded. Now you do want to break these down more because remember it is loading a lot of separate objects. But like I said, this is just something that's part of later workflow to make sure that everything fits in the scene right, and then I can optimize more and change all the, it's just it's taking them at the proper steps at a time. So for me, the most important part is I always get confused because these are all okay. And then now we're gonna rotate it on the nope. I forgot it's the Z for Unity. On the Z. On the X. So 90. Yeah. Actually, these are almost the correct size. I don't even really need to. No, come on. Ooh. Oh wow, these are actually the correct size. Let's also though check out that compared to the node that I added, these are, so we want them more like right here. And then now that it's a prefab, we can just duplicate it, doesn't really matter. And then we're gonna put this one around even. Actually, we should just use this as an anchor. I should just use that as an anchor. Bunker, small light bulb. Yeah, let's just put it right there. And then we're going to let's just control duplicate. And now we're going to put it where it's starting to go through the wall. And then we're going to 180. Oh no, sorry, 90. 90, and then I think it's on the Z, yes. Yeah, we're gonna 180 on Z. Plop it right there. And then we're gonna do the same thing with this one. We're gonna duplicate. I know I only need one to test, but it's gonna be a lot generally better if I just oh my god, this computer. Okay. Okay. And then 180. And then we take this back a little bit against the wall. It looks like it's generally fit well. So we're gonna do one quick test, make sure everything went well, and then I guess that's about the video. I'm gonna do another video probably in a couple days to just make sure that like for UV mapping and baking normal maps, because I do want to go and make everything look a little bit more high resolution eventually. But obviously those are later steps. Okay, so we're gonna turn off master hierarchy. Turn on the login hierarchy. Okay. I just want to make sure all the normals are right. I mean, they should be because I did try to bake them correctly beforehand, but you never know. Sometimes they just come out really weird. Okay, yeah, looks good. They produce a little bit of light, but I'm actually going to take a secondary light source and add them right in front. because that'll oh, and I forgot to add it on one of them, but that's whatever. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, it looks pretty good. And yeah, so those are basic emergency lights. You can change the color, but I just want them white for right now. Okay, and the next video we'll get into like we'll be using this top light right there, and that top light will be a reference for you know, like getting rid of a little bit of the glitchiness with the camera and you know, getting a proper texture on it. Now, I mean, these lights don't really matter that much for proper textures, but, you know, it's still important. And then we'll do a video for the interior node. And then, you know, I'll think of some other stuff to show that's Blender-oriented and stuff, but... Alright, well, I hope you guys enjoyed my video, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I will be doing a lot more of these currently, but, you know, just, I'll keep you guys updated, and... I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Laters.